Welcome, Ravenites, to another fantastic episode of Raven's Realm Tabletop Podcast. My name is Justin, and I am the host tonight, and I'm joined by Kai.
Hello.
And I got Ryan.
Hi, I'm Ryan.
Then Noah.
Hello.
And then Chris.
Hey, what's up?
And then lastly, hosting the whole thing tonight is going, or not hosting, I guess would be leading the whole thing tonight will be Brandon.
Howdy, folks. And yeah, tonight we are doing the prep for our third season. We figured we could just stream this and really, because we want to kind of get into a place where we're talking about game mechanics more. Maybe you might see some like off mainline stream like content around that. But here specifically tonight, we're gonna walk through kind of the mechanics of what we want to see in this game, and then maybe do some world gen at the end of that. But yeah, just to introduce it from the top here, right? For our third season, which is gonna kick off middle of May, we want to do a sci-fi campaign. We're gonna use the Cypher system, but it's going to be using the world setting and kind of the setting engine that is the world creation systems and the faction management system of Stars Without Number. So I really want to like use all the cool bits from that, but to keep it, because it's a stream content, I think the Cypher system would keep it a lot more cinematic. So, I mean, y'all have been hanging out, so you kind of know that's what the fantasy bit was everyone kind of learning the ins and outs of the Cypher system and getting comfortable with it. That way, whenever they make their characters with this, because it's going to be a little bit of a longer term. That said, we've been playing Fantasy Cypher since like Halloween, or even before Halloween, wasn't it? Because
yeah, it was before.
Gosh dang. Yeah, so anyways, we want to make sure that when folks are making characters and stuff, that it's something that they can commit to. But, you know, that's not just a Halloween bit.
I'm
Anyway.
gonna go as Santa for this next one.
Yeah, just in time, right?
Exactly.
And it's really got to be the character progression so that he dons the full Tim Allen Santa Claus.
Dang.
Set up right at Christmas.
I could do the Santa Claus plot.
We shouldn't be
Tim
saying.
Allen.
I really shouldn't say this because Justin will just fucking do it.
I had a Sasquatch as a character once.
Santa in space could be pretty exciting, I will say.
Damn it.
We're not doing that. Stop.
You're stuck with that now.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, let's start off with kind of like hive minding on what we want out of this, right? So last week, week before last, right? We did the microscope setup where we really laid out a lot of the broad strokes of the world, and so we've got this kind of fallen sector. Which, hold on, I should probably start from the beginning there, because I shouldn't just assume that anyone watching this knows about the Stars Without Number and its world. So you're dealing with this galaxy where mankind rose to a pinnacle, like, fueled a lot by technical growth, and then this hybrid technology, psionic style hybrid growth. And that was kind of the pinnacle. So everyone had their, like, super pure magic wonder society driven by this hybrid technology psychics. It wasn't all roses and stuff like that, but on the surface it was. But anyways, something bad happened. This was probably like 600 years ago. And they called it the Scream, and it was this psychic resonance that emitted from somewhere in reality. And it was like basically like a power surge of psychic energy that made all of the existing psychics kind of die or go insane. Any technology was built on that, which was basically all technology at the time, driven completely useless. And this created like, just system. It's kind of like the kind of thought process behind like what's the word? Apocalypse like literature that's built around like EMPs in urban areas, except this is like that on a galactic scale. So you've got your Coruscant style planets and stuff like that that suddenly have no technology and no travel, and you have all these people in these like giant urbanized worlds where they don't have food anymore and they don't have, you name it, right? And so fast forward through time, this is kind of humans picking up the pieces, and this is the world we have. And that kind of set up Microscope for last time. Microscope, we told the story of a sector that had a little bit of magic to it. And that is, we're bringing in this splat book for Start of the Number called Codex of the Black Sun. We had kind of a rise of an empire, its collapse, and a warlord period, and a collapse and a banditry period, and it's question marks. Hello, Finn. Yeah, this is a real bad time. So, yeah, we are making characters, we are trying to figure out the kind of content we're gonna have in that world. So I think the first place I'll start with is space combat. How do we want to play that? Do we want to play that? We can do anything from like really like a bridge commander style thing of like someone's on sensors, someone's in the helm, someone's piloting, someone's on weapons, etc. Right? We go around the table, taking turns doing space combat. We can do more high level. Cypher System's built-in one is really kind of abstracted away from even that. But we could also just like, generally we don't really want this kind of content, so the hand wave of reality will make it so that scenarios where that would happen don't really. What's everyone's thoughts on kind of how they want to see that?
I've been thinking, and I like the idea of something like pirate ships where you have people manning cannons, and so like whatever rockets or space propeller, like proton missiles or whatever, but both sides taking individual attacks, but having a body like the spaceship be the body or the health of the group shared. That's just an idea. So like we all get to attack, but we have a pooled health thing.
Sure.
Yeah, I kind of like that, but I do think that if we're gonna go the individual route of like being able to attack as the ship, then we should have to roll as someone's piloting, someone's on comms, someone's on the gunners. Like if we're all going to be attacking and there's like the ship's health, and then if it gets really bad, our individual health floating into space, I do think that we should actually just run the ship.
Well, how much
have people designated
auto
to each station?
Okay,
That's
I like it. I just think that there should be a little bit of autopilot because it could get kind of boring to listen to someone. Okay, roll for radio communications.
No,
Oh,
I
I
don't
won't
think
do
of it in that. I think of it more as someone's piloting the ship, so it's not going to be like put your foot on the pedal, but more of, okay, are you maneuvering? Are you like slamming on the brakes? Are you like, so essentially dictating the ship's movement would be piloting, and then like people have the gunners. Someone is working in the engine room to like give it more gas if it wants to go faster. Just like
I see.
those aspects.
Yeah, you could have like 10 rolls, but then, we only have us, so we have to figure out which rolls we want to like hit on. If we're going to run, then let's get like a few more people in the, whatever, the engine room or whatever.
So then we're kind of, first off, how many of y'all have played space games where this is a huge factor in the past?
I have.
Okay, which ones?
I've played Star Wars 5e, which has a really big space combat aspect to it, because you like build your spacecraft as like part of character building, so you give it its own stats. And I really like that aspect of it. I didn't like anything else about Star Wars 5e, but I did like the space combat part of it.
Sure.
And then also Teens in Space, which is the Kids on Bikes, Kids on Brooms spin-off, also has space combat in it as well.
Heck yeah. So then I guess I'll take this, because you raise a really good point. There is the idea of and Justin, you kind of alluded or built to this, the idea that the ship exists as a shared vehicle, ship character sheets, right? So we can build out everything from how many hit points it has, what kind of armor does it have. Talk about people manning the guns. Well, are there sandcasters? Are they like, I don't know, plasma launchers? Or missiles or thermonuclear, like whatever majiggies. Name your technobabble. But then there's also systems of like modules to the ship. Like, oh well, ours. One of the really cool things about our ship is that it has an arboretum, like monastery built into it for space monks. That's a throwback to Coriolis, which that's a real module and gives substantial bonuses to certain things. Which Cypher system inherently supports all of this specific kind of gameplay. I just wasn't positive if folks really wanted to lean into it or not. But it sounds like yes, that we will be leaning into it, which is cool. So we're gonna have fully satted out ships. We're gonna go through that. Then that also informs when y'all are designing your characters to make sure that they have a role that they can fill in a spaceship capacity, right? Because space cook, like Swedish chef in space, is not always the most useful. Just to calibrate those expectations of contributing to the greater whole. Perfect. All right, then I think we're in a spot there.
Santa could be a navigator.
He's fitting into the storyline so far. I see no reason why we can't have a face Santa. I'm just saying. There's magic. You need a navigator.
There's a lot of houses to get to, though. Stretched
Yes.
out over
Light years.
Stars.
If there's
That are-
FTL, then he can do it easily.
Just true.
But all in one night?
Their focus would be exist in multiple places at once, right? And so you do that.
Right?
Yeah, we figured out
I'm helping
cloning
this.
just so Santa can get to everywhere all at
Why am I helping? Okay. All right. So we've got kind of our idea for space combat and that sort of stuff. So going into world and setting mechanics, I know from the Codex of Black Suns, I want shadows in the game, and that's kind of why I heavily seeded it in a lot of my contributions for Microscope. I know that Kai read Dama Kings and was like that. Yes, I want that. So we need to make sure that we accommodate that exists and is a part of the setting. Are there any other... Well, Justin, walk us through your non-Santa character concept. And...
Okay, so non-Santa concept is this character that can kind of drain. It's using, let me see what the cipher is called, drain machine or something. Let's see. I have to go back to the page. Oh, siphon something. Let's see. On Cypher.
Siphon's energy.
Here we go. Siphon's energy. Or Siphon's power. There we go. And kind of where it sucks the power out of machines and creatures in order to empower yourself. I haven't, this is all half-baked at this point, but I kind of like that direction and creating a character that can kind of be a utility character.
I think that kind of lends itself not to like the magic setting splat book, but to traditional MES characters or metadimensional something syndrome. Yeah, so you'd be like a traditional scion.
What's a scion?
Someone who utilizes psionics.
Sweet.
Um,
Oh, it's a car.
was a car.
Aw,
Yo,
rib.
and we had my favorite car I ever had was our Scion XP. That's absolutely true.
There were some weird cars.
I really enjoyed my XP until a tree fell on it, Austin. So we had just paid it off. I just got new tires on it. Just all the that was up until this latest car. That was my trend. Was the cars get destroyed after we get tires. So, anyways, Chris, you had
What's
talked
up?
to a character concept of kind of like kind of jack of all trades. Is there any kind of meta setting mechanics you think we would need for that concept? I don't think so. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so. Nothing off the top of my head. Possibly some kind of artifact. If he's an explorer of some kind, he is searching for the ultimate something.
Okay.
Lost crystal or something. I don't know.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'll think of something like that. Just to give him sort of like a cause, something that he is searching, so it's not just like aimless. Yeah.
Fair enough. Brian, what direction are you thinking eventually with this character?
I would like someone who has been through a lot, seen a lot, and is a bit older, but more like 40s, 50s, if we're talking about like human years. Ideally, I'd want them to have lived through like the splintering period and the Battle of Khartoum. I don't know what side I would envision them on yet, but I want like kind of like a
very old character at that point.
very old.
Yeah, at that point that would be over 100 years old.
Over 100. Okay, then
Yeah.
more so like the splintering. Is that closer?
That's even older, isn't it? Or no?
Or no, splintering happens after. I'm looking at the
Okay.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking that the end of our thing, the lifting of the silence, was about was like 100 years ago. So
Okay.
50 to 100, somewhere in that range.
Okay.
So
I want, yeah, maybe they're on the younger side. But kind of like war veteran-y in a sense.
There's also a focus thing. Where it's like emerges from the obelisk.
Yeah.
Emerge
I'll
from
have
the
to-
obelisk. Your body is hard to use your suite of abilities. Is like you literally had been in stasis and you are like
yes, that might work.
person at the time. That might be fun.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Emerges from the obelisk. Right.
Microscope notes are linked in the Notion page.
Oh,
For today, if you go to the bottom notes, I hyperlinked it.
thank you.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking with my character.
Sweet. Alright. Noah, talk through your idea.
So I'm thinking sort of still working on how exactly this ties into the microscope.
And it doesn't have to like 1-to-1, you know?
I got you.
Oh, I'll come back.
Yeah, give me a couple minutes.
Sure. Kai, for your Yamaking idea, have you? I think we were talking, and you had an idea for a framework building this out, right?
Yeah, so I'm really thinking of this character as like someone who either was like I don't want to take like Ryan's thing of like being out of time, but I really do see this character as being someone who either was like a not executioner, but like judge, jury, and executioner for either the Fist or for
Arcus?
yeah, for Arcus or even for like Pelemon II. as just this person who's very much out of time, has these very old beliefs and instructions. But I also do see this as a large part of the Yamaku thing was choosing enhanced human beings over intelligent ones. And I do see this character as being someone who is very strongly like augmented human, who is, because they had to be so controlled and do the willing of whatever power there was, that this character really isn't their own person, but is programmed in some ways to just affect the will of whoever's in charge.
Really? All right. So I think, and you pointed at the influence, like focus category, building out a custom one, and we can talk through that and figure that out.
Yeah.
So I think you've got a good guideline for that.
Yeah, and I have like a couple of ones that I definitely want to pull from. So like some of the aspects of like descends from nobility, from like the influence aspect, interprets the law, meets out justice, and works as a system, I think are the main things that this character would be pulling from.
Oh yeah. I think that's cool. And there might even be some around the Yamaking has like their cultural enmeshment abilities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You didn't say those things, so maybe those aren't ours you have chosen stars. So I won't impose I won't impose headcanon on you then. Cool. We know how that's going to go. Then what we need is like a mechanism by which these characters exist or are kind of tied in powers. But I think we've got it. I think we have all the recipe pieces here. Right, we've got you, and we have Ryan creating these characters that are potentially on ice, right? Maybe on ice for crimes, or maybe on ice until you're ready to pull ice. We have set up like Chris, where you are carving out like secret, right? Turn the key that should have been turned. Situation happening here. Freeze. I think that's a good setup for like a session 0 system. Yeah, I think we got it. That's that'll work out just fine. So building on that, let's talk about kind of the way the game will end up playing. I tend to not really like heavy combat games. I know we just did like a big Cypher Pathfinder type thing, which is going to be about as combat heavy as you can get, because life is a series of fights in Pathfinder. But I want to think about what the game's about, why it's about it, right? In that sense, the way you can get experience is by out what you want to do. Really, this is a long-winded way of saying I really think that we should use the character arcs engine from the Cypher system. Has anyone looked at that whatsoever before?
No. Nope.
Cool. And that wasn't even on like the hey you should read this list. That's just something I've been mulling over. So character arcs is where you will have the ability, like there's a giant list of like hard-coded ones that are examples, and we would talk about each of these, kind of what they are, what the different needs of that story arc might be. And you get your starting ones at level 1 for free. And as you advance that or move that arc along, the experience points. And then once you complete it, you get a nice little payout of like 2 experience points. That's a really good way for us to make sure that we're communicating on what drives and motivates these characters. So, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that. Obviously, you'll still have the GM intrusion experience point funness that we always have. But on top of that, that's going to be a way of getting plot-related experience points. I just unilaterally decided that we're gonna use character arcs. So make sure to look at those and figure out what you want to take as your start. You can buy fresh character arcs during play by spending points to gain the arc. And I think if you no. So we talked about space combat. We talked about kind of the world as it needs to exist in order for your character concepts to be functional. We talked about character arcs. We've already kind of discussed like hard versus soft sci-fi. I know not everyone is really familiar with thinking on those terms, but basically arriving somewhere like basically Star Wars, hard sci-fi-ness, which is not hard sci-fi at all, by the way, for any listeners that would be like, wait, that's not right. Yeah. Are there any kind of setting mechanics or gameplay that y'all are interested in knowing anything else about or hammering out? That was a good answer.
Where can I see these character arcs?
It's like page 112.
Page 112.
Oh,
Okay.
240, 240.
240. Okay.
Cool.
How many steps should our arc be? Are we doing 7 or?
I've never gotten too bogged down on the arcs. You don't have to have all that figured out at the onset. Just have the idea of the arc. Talk over it next session.
Okay.
What page is it on?
That'll be 240.
40. Thank you.
Okay then. Let's actually start pumping out some of the sectors. So I'm gonna pull up sectors without number. Ryan, do you have a fast style scene for that?
Yes, I do. There it is.
We're gonna use sectors without number to build this out because I really enjoy the world building aspects of worlds without number. So we know that our kind of central world was Kharkov. I can just carve this out actually. System. Boom. Save. And in there, I'm gonna throw in that. Let's get a planet on there. We're gonna call it Tycoon. See, I don't need to hide it. Let's do planet. And then we can go in here and we can edit out some of the planetary tags. So, I think we've decided already, just based on our world generation so far, I'm going to go ahead and add the tag Tomb World. This Kharkov was bombed to hell. And I think Badlands World. So you have these roaming kind of bandits, factions, and rogues. Roaming remnants of the Fist, etc., etc. I actually don't think that's where our game starts. So from there, I'm gonna come out. Are you able to see it? Do y'all see a plus system in the center?
We do not.
What happened?
Let me refresh my page.
Shouldn't have
Oh, I do.
Is it in
I
Foundry?
had to. For some reason. I see it now. Oh, cool.
And then you should be able to go in there and you can see Badlands and Tomb World and stuff.
Is this
Click on the plan
something?
on the right.
Ah, yes.
So I'm gonna go out. We're gonna just start doing some auxiliary planets here. So Silex is the first one I have generated. But you can't see any of it. Refresh again.
All right. There, I see.
Yeah,
him.
I'm not seeing what Ryan's seeing.
You
Yeah,
might
is
have
this
to
in Foundry?
refresh. Oh no, it's sectors without numbers. It's a link in the
Oh, okay.
Discord. I think it's second from the bottom. No, yeah, second or
Gotcha.
this one.
Okay. Thank you.
Alright, so we're making a few clusters of stars and we're just letting random generator go.
Nice.
You know what? I feel like what we'll actually have is, yeah, you guys start right off on Khartoum as kind of not feudal. Feudal is not the word. Like it's like just random land of survivor humans on Khartoum who have managed to go and find a ship. I think that's going. I think it's all going to be tied together here. We're talking like the letting people out of stasis, and getting on the ship and all of that stuff. I think we'll just start off session 0 or session 1 really with a bang of y'all have to get off Khartoum because you are now being hunted.
That sounds exciting.
Right? And with that, you don't really know a lot of the planets around. The ship has the ability to detect kind of what is close from like a MES navigation chart that it was able to pull. But this chart isn't complete, and yeah, you got what you got. Because Khartoum does seem to be the world we know the most about, and frankly, the random world tags that are assigned are. There's very seldom a, you know what, that feels really vanilla, like a good starting point. There just aren't a lot of worlds that are going to turn out like that. Okay? I've got hive mind and seismic instability, and xenophiles and a whole utopia major space hero. Immortals, holy war. Right, like it's I think I want y'all to wander into those rather than come from them, if that makes sense. So I think y'all will be coming from Khartoum. You will be hunted by by some faction related to the Great Kyle. I think that's how it's going to spin off. I think that's how we're going to kick it off. Yeah, the Great Kyle. We're definitely changing that name before actual session starts, but Kyle is definitely a placeholder name for some kind of
How dare you?
meager space wizard.
I'm a big fan of Kyle Duke used as a name.
The great Kyle disapproves of this.
Yeah. Y'all should be able to look around everything pretty easily now, right? Like if you refresh that Join the remnant. Yeah. Exactly. So I think I know how to position session 0. We'll save actual character creation for next time. What else do we want to talk over, or what can I clarify for y'all before we would want to make characters or start the game?
How do you play Cypher system? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right. You literally haven't played since your character dropped, right?
Not as much. Not as much as the rest of y'all, but that's okay. I'll learn.
Yeah. I give you a number, you gotta roll higher, basically.
Yeah. I do remember that, yeah.
So, we'll have, XP will be a little bit more static and a little bit easier to plan around, so player intrusions will be much more welcome. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the gist of high levels of what I wanted to talk about here. Noah, let's circle back. We had talked offline about kind of space crusades and stuff.
So I think I wanted to go more perimeter agency.
Okay.
If that's cool.
Sure. Tell us kind of what you want to get from that. What you see, how you see that shaping the character and motivations.
So I'm kind of seeing just like I know it's not super fleshed out on the timeline, but my headcanon right now, like the kind of concept I'm working with is like a perimeter agent who's like mostly an AI / like weirdness hunter fixer, right?
Okay.
Who's spent a decent amount of time, or spent like the last while on Chronopolis, and is kind of jaded. So I see like overall his arc is like learning to care about collateral damage again. Is that
Yeah.
okay?
I remember that I completely forgot about Chronopolis.
It's the Android Awakening planet.
Yep. I am editing because one of these planets is Robots Gold Rush, and I am making that Chronopolis.
That fits.
Yeah, it does. We got Chronopolis, and then there was something with a moon there, right? Yes. Yeah, that'll work. Boom. So what I am going to do is now I am going to take this whole sector. Chronopolis. Save it. And the sector name looked a whole lot like Aratu Omicron to me, that I was like, that's perfect, and I'm using that. SWN import. Oh, I have to export it, so we do export to JSON. Go. Exported. Boundary. Import. Choose file. Ba-ba-da.
Have a planet Funeralopolis, like the Electric Wizards. But also, our home planet is Kharkoum is kind of like that.
It's a great place. Nothing bad ever happened there.
Boundary updated.
Yep. Now I just have to update some of the components. And I'll be re-importing this to actually fit with my custom art assets. But should now be able to see, if you hit the map node stuff and have that toggled on, you should be able to see Carcoon pretty clearly. Observer. Alright. Can y'all all see that in Foundry? Sorry, stream. We haven't
Yep.
set up to share all of that yet, but cool. So we've got all of that set up there. Y'all have your player character sheets. I think we're good to go for next week then. Next week, for anyone with custom focuses, we'll go through and introduce the focuses that we've made and kind of lay out how we see that progressing. Beyond that, yeah, we'll introduce our characters and we'll get session 0 stuff going and figure it out from there. I don't think we got anything else. I'm not going to keep everyone here for super late.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool.
All right.
Sounds good. Do you have an outro, Justin?
Hey, everybody. Thank you for listening to Raven's Realm. It has been awesome having you listen to us build this awesome world and figure out some of the issues with the world and try to figure out, what's going on. But anyway, if you want to hear the music of Raven's Realm Tabletop Podcast, you can go to bandlab.com/mixsushi3. I have a whole playlist set up for all the music. Some of it you may not even heard, like for Noah's one thing, or the world building we did, the first one, what was it? The Quiet Year? There's a whole theme song that was probably not heard, but anyway, you can go hear it there exclusively, or you can check out my own personal album under Project Born on Spotify. I also have some new music coming out soon. So make sure to check out the Discord for Raven's Realm. This is a Discord where people go and play Dungeons and Dragons and different other RPGs and whatnot online. It's a great server with good mods that keep everything in check. Anyway, on to who wants to take it next?
I'll go. Yo, I'm Brandon. I am kind of emceeing and or coordinating cat herding for the season 3. Really looking forward to a sweet sci-fi game. Yeah, check out the Discord, like Justin said. Also, Raven Marches, our second version of the Raven Marches campaign, is gonna be coming out soon. But I'll let Noah talk more about that. Go, Chris.
Hey, what's up? I'm Chris. I've been playing the random guy on a webcam. If you want to, in the toilets with Justin. If you want to follow me, I am Chris Gamble 37 on Instagram, and also join the Discord. I will agree with the others that you should join the Discord. Try to clean it up a little bit and make it to where we have games going on, but we also have like a cool forum that's developing around discussing tabletop games. So if you're not interested in playing online, join our Discord for the discussion board. So Kai, you go.
Hello. I have nothing to plug. Find me on Discord.
What's your name on Discord?
Oh. Kitchen or Kaiti Latte.
Nice.
That was really bad. I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
Someone else go.
Ryan.
Hey, I'm Ryan. I've been playing Ryan, and you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/ballandrye. That's it.
Noah.
All right, I'm Noah, FlimFlam94 on the Discord, which we do have been hard at work on the new iteration of the Ravens Marches, which shaping up really nice. Lots of dastardly wizards and cursed lands to explore. Should have more details about that very soon.
Heck yeah. All right, y'all. We'll see you next. Well, I won't see you next week. She'll see everyone else.
Bye. Thanks for watching.
Are we ready? Are we ready?
Never
Stick around for the
forget.
raid. Stick around for the raid.